Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Great. Emilia, this was amazing. I'm going to show it to my daughter. So thanks for having me. I'll be speaking in English because my Finnish is just garbage, so you'll forgive me. I hope it's okay. And what a privilege to be with you this morning. I was rehearsing actually helping my daughter with her chemistry exam. She's having it today, and I hope she's doing well. And I was doing my PowerPoint a bit late. And she said, "What are you presenting tomorrow, Mom?" I said, "Oh, I'm presenting in front of like hundreds of high school girls." And she was like rolling her eyes in her head. I was like, "Good luck. That's a tough audience." So now you're warned. I'm a mother of a teenager, too, actually. And I'm also a millennial, so I do selfies, and I already posted about you on my social media, so sorry about that if you find your picture. It was on purpose. And we're going to play a little game, just to check that you understand my accent. You ready? And for the people on the line, you can also try it. We're going to play this game called 2 Truths and 1 Lie. Do you know it? Okay, so it's a game where I'm going to say 2 things that are true about me, and 1 that's a lie, and you're going to have to decide which one is a lie, and you're going to vote. So the first thing about me is that before I moved to Finland, I was already into heavy metal, and I played in a rock and roll band for years, and I was a goth. So that's 1. The second one is, I always knew I wanted to work in technology. It was my passion from the beginning, and that's something that, from the earliest part of my life, was a deep, deep career choice. And the third one is, accidentally, somewhere around December 2019, we rescued a bunny, and it's now our home pet. And that bunny thinks he owns the house. What's the truth? What's the lie? Who thinks I was not in a rock and roll band? Who thinks I'm lying about that? Okay. 2 people think I lie. Who thinks I always wanted to work in technology is a lie? Damn, you read my bio. And so I guess, yes, you're right. I have a bunny as a pet. And absolutely true. I never, ever, ever thought technology was a cool career. I thought it was for crazy weirdos who do coding like in the movies. I had no freaking clue what the hell technology even is. So, yep. I guess in life you have a plan. And like everyone, your parents, everyone, your teacher, whoever has strong ideas and advices about your life, they're telling you, you do all the things, you do all the studying, you do all the good stuff, you do good, you study well, and life will be great. Yes, you'll go to university, you'll have a job, everything you love, it's going to be awesome. Yes, that's how life goes, right? That's the plan. Yep. Yeah, that's not the plan at all. This is what I was told, and frankly, it didn't go at all the way I planned it. Obviously, I'm here in Finland, in Otaniemi, in 2022, and speaking to you, I was not planning on that. That really brought me a whole different direction. What the hell happened? Right? I had a plan. I was really, really good at all kind of stuff in high school, and, found out that that's not going to work. So this is life. It looks messy. It's completely nuts. There is no real plan to it. People who make you believe that are lying to you. Don't worry, it's okay. It's actually a fun journey. Let me tell you how it went for me. And by the way, it's soon my birthday, so I'm not done yet. I'm not at the end. But I want to tell you what really happened, because I actually consulted a bunch of high schoolers before I came here, because I didn't want to make a total fool of myself. So I asked them, what do high school girls want to hear? And they said to me, the truth. Don't make it sound like it's easy, because it probably wasn't. Don't make it sound like it was straightforward. Don't make it sound like you had your shit together. I'm French, I'm allowed to swear. So I won't do that. I'll tell you the truth. I was really good in art. I was painting, I was doing music, I wrote really, really well. I got some prizes in French literature. this was my life, right? I didn't listen to anything that was happening in school. I was just doodling in the back. That's what I was doing, listening to heavy metal. Life was awesome. But I have really, really demanding immigrant parents who said that there is no money in art. You can't make a living out of that. So make good studies, be smart. So, well, I went to business school, majored in finance, frankly hated all of it. But it was cool because it was in Paris, so did some partying, had some great time, did my degree, was okay. Not amazing, but okay. Because, my heart was still in doing creative things, right? I interned in restaurants, I interned in real estate companies, I moved to 3 different countries. I really didn't have a plan, right? I was a little bit floating. I was good at stuff, but there was no real strategy. I actually explored political science for a while, went to the United Nations to visit, met a really, really good-looking Finnish person, moved to Finland on a whim, with no job, a degree that was completely useless because I don't speak Finnish or Swedish, so I became a bartender for a year. Basically, I was unemployed because you really don't want to serve alcohol in Finland as a French person, so I did that. I actually got some friend of mine who said, well, Nokia is looking for a software tester. Would you like to interview? I was like, okay. I don't know what a software testing thing is, so I bought all the books and I studied at night really, really hard, and I tried to figure out what the hell I was going to do on that interview. It seems I was convincing because they gave me a job, and I was a software tester for a company that I thought was Japanese. Ended up being headquartered in Finland, so, Yep, this was fun. I definitely did a good thing because I realized the only people that they listen in that company are the engineers. I checked on 1st of May and I found a cool hat, with the tupsu thing. And then I said to my boyfriend, I said, what's this hat thing? And he said, oh, that's the most difficult university in Finland, you can't get in. I said, that's the one I want. I said, okay, so apply to Tekoko. By some miracle, Tekoko was the old people aalto, so, for us. I got in. That was weird. It happened. It was awesome. I met all kind of engineers. Was one of the only girls there. Didn't really think about it because I was the only girl in my department as well. But that was fun. I quit my job at Nokia. I got headhunted in a company that does real estate. But that happened at a time where, the world went to shit, and I lost my job before it started. So that was really annoying. I started a company. I failed at the company twice, and, so many stuff happened that I would bore you to death if I told them all to you. I did become the youngest foreigner CIO in Finland, 170-year-old Finnish company called Lindström. That was awesome. I worked for the biggest companies. I quit that job too. Found out I have ADHD, so that could explain a bunch of the stuff that I do that make no sense. That was right before COVID, and then, life. So in the middle of all that, I had 2 kids, wrote a master thesis for TechS, started a nonprofit called International Working Women of Finland. 8,000 people are joining us in our digital community. It's pretty awesome. Why I'm showing you this mess? Well, that's kind of my life. This mess is my life, because the plan that they give you in the beginning might not be the plan you end up following. I told you the way it happened chronologically, but if you look at it from the point of view of what we're actually trying to do when we're navigating career choices, we're trying to make an impact without brutalizing who we are from our core. We want to stay the artist, the heavy metal, shoe-wearing, crazy wackos who swear in front of 200+ high school ladies. Not to be cool, not to be fun, but because that's kind of who I anyway am, but I still get to have amazing opportunities. Because whatever happened did not prevent me from moving forward. World crisis, pandemic, insane stuff happening, you still find a way because you follow who you are and you learn. So I'm not telling you go to tech because it's the answer. Tech kind of pulled me in because it was the best way I could use all of my skills, be a badass bitch boss, and still get stuff done the way I wanted to. So what happened? Well, I started in different consulting companies, worked with Nokia, got amazing opportunities to lead big transformation at Kone. You've heard of it, I think. The one that does, yeah, of course. Became a group CIO, started a nonprofit, and now I get the best job of them all. I'm the leader of the entire Nordics for a company that advises every company in the world, every nonprofit, every big organization in their technology choices. I get to lead the team of people that tells all the big technology bosses in this country and all of the others in the Nordic what and how they should work with technology going forward. How cool is that? I didn't plan that either. It happened. It happened because I didn't just pick one thing, I picked all of the things. But I believed that there was an opportunity. So what happened? Today, I get to work with the coolest people, the smartest people. I get to help them make decisions on technology choices that are going to change the world tomorrow. I get to work with people who are describing the way we are changing the world tomorrow. It was amazing what you said earlier, Emilia, and all of you. You're leading the way, you're showing the problems. We're also part of the solution. You have an enormous opportunity. You don't have to pick the decisions right now. No one knows what they want to be at 17. I still don't know, by the way. But the point is, you get to influence. So here it comes. I get to work with those people. I get to influence. You do too. You don't have to pick science right away, but just know it's an option for you. So, I used to be good at math, but I didn't want to do math. I used to be interested in social sciences. I didn't end up doing social sciences. So it's the collection of all the things that brings you where you are. These pictures are just ego boost for me, because you allowed me to basically think around what is it that I do every day. And it was amazing. I actually just Googled myself, and don't do that, by the way, you see ridiculous stuff. But I found stuff that I had even forgotten. The picture there, I just want to show it to you, is the picture where I lost my job in the pandemic. And a friend of mine called me and said, I'm looking for someone who wants to build an artificial intelligence on public speaking. I was thinking for a while. Okay, I'll help you find somebody. 2 hours later, I called him and said, I want to do it. I want to build an AI on public speaking. Let's do it then. So we built a robot that takes a video of you and tells you how much you suck at public speaking. I used it a lot. The trick is, and that's really embarrassing, right? It didn't recognize old black people. So that's the problem when you don't have a diverse team. It recognized very well Finnish dudes and me. But Asian people and black people somehow didn't get represented very well. We learned through our mistake, diversity is not a choice. It's a decision every day that you make. So I'm still running on my time. I'm not sure why it's happening. But the point I'm trying to make is, the choices that you make, they don't impact just your life, they impact everyone else's. And it's a big responsibility. In a way, it's a bit of an unfair responsibility. We're asking you to fix all of this. Don't worry, you're not alone, we're still around. The older generation is going to be here. We take that seriously and that responsibility. These women are here because they believe you are actually going to be part of our teams. You're going to be the leaders. I might report to one of you in a bunch of years. So your leadership, your vision, and your focus are going to be an extremely important part of shaping Finnish society. I have hours to speak, apparently, so what I'll do you have any questions? Do you have any thoughts around this? I'm done showing pictures of my face. Maybe that. Yeah?
What would you now tell yourself, like as a high school kid, like after you have experienced all this?
What would I tell myself?
Yes.
That I would be surprised how, heavy metal is not a cool thing when you move to Finland. Because I was such a wacko in France, right? They were like, you're like Satanist. Do you kill chicken at night? I was like, no, I don't. But here, coming to Finland, it was kind of, I was home. But I would tell myself that that it's going to be okay. It's pretty scary. I can tell you, I think it's the same in Finland, but when you're 16 in France, they're basically asking you to pick your life choices for like the next 15, 20 years, and it's super scary. Like you end up feeling like you're making choices that are limiting your option rather than opening them up. I think it was said earlier by the first speaker that, being lateral thinking, having multiple skills, is a very important thing. And I could not agree more. Don't narrow your options. Make them very wide. And test and fail, and hate things and love things, and select based on where your interest goes. Don't just go where it's easy. Try to kind of stretch where it's difficult, where your brain is like going, I don't want this, try to think why. So frankly, what I would say to myself is, it's going to be fine. It's not going to be easy at all. It's going to be scary sometimes, but it's kind of part of the fun as well, because you can make big, bold choices. And I kind of envy you. You get to go through all that mess and, be surprised and be a bit scared and be amazed at all the opportunities. And I know you're going to change the world. So I thank you in advance for that. Take care of yourselves and reach out if you ever need. Thank you.
Thank you, Galith. Thank you so much. You're such an inspiration. Great to hear your story. One more question.
Yes, of course.
What would be the most important skills that you, after experiencing all these, that you think are the most valuable things to keep in mind?
Okay, it's going to sound like a cheesy, horrible cliche, but be kind. I was not very kind when I started. I like to get stuff done. I like results. I want outcome. I need things to move, and I get so impatient. And then I moved to Finland. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Zootropolis. It's like this movie with animals, and there's this rabbit, and then she goes to the DMV, and it's like this really slow animals, and they're telling a joke. If you've not seen it, it makes no sense, right? Check it out. It's hilarious. And I feel like I'm the rabbit. Like I'm like, can we get this done? Moving left and right. And then people are like, in my head, they're super slow. And I'm losing my mind, right? I used to not understand their point of view at all, because I was so driven to the outcome. So my main cliche, cheesy, what the hell answer is be kind. It actually gets you faster there. So it's an opportunistic reason. But it also is that you don't really know what people are going through. And your rhythm is not their rhythm. So moving to Finland, being a younger leader, I had a lot to prove to myself. I had a lot to prove to others. I think sometimes you kind of forget that you should be able to do it without hurting or damaging the way others feel about themselves and the way things are happening. So your quest for success should never, ever, ever undermine others' success. You should always, always lift others. Try to do it as a team, build alliances. Try to build a story that makes others want to be a part of it. And that will be my biggest learning.
Thank you so much. That's a very good thing to keep in mind.
My pleasure. Any question from the audience? Does this make even any sense? Like this wacko on the table? Like, yes? Did you find it scary that all of this choices, like how we build cars and how we build medications and how we make choices for safety, they don't include you. Did you know it? You can, yeah, because now it's like we know about this stuff. Isn't it infuriating? It is, right? Okay, so the good news is this is not the status quo. We can change this. We were chatting with Amelia earlier, and we were laughing about the stories on how many times people in our workplace have thought we were the assistants or the cleaning ladies or the people bringing the coffee. And I have a personal joy when that happens, because I get to tell them I'm their boss's boss's boss. So go and be the boss. Thank you so
Amazing.
much.
Thank you so much.